Hello and welcome everyone. So today we are going to start one very tricky topic of physics which is known as waves, right? So today's topic is waves. Now, before I tell you what is the definition of the wave or how do we define wave, let me tell you one thing. Let me ask you one thing. Just pause the video right now and tell me what comes to your mind when you hear the word wave for the first time. What is that thing which comes to your mind? Okay. Now, okay, there are few things which are gonna come in your mind. First of all, wave means this. Wave means this. Second thing, sir, water wave. Second, third, like sound waves, or light waves, and what else? What else? Some will say that, sir, when we throw stone on the water surface and ripples are created, sir, those are also waves, right? Very right. And some might be thinking, sir, corona wave. Okay. So, anyways, some might be right, some might be wrong, and some might be approximately right. Okay. So first of all, let me tell you what actually wave is. What actually wave is. Okay. See, wave is an event which is occurring at one place, and when that event is transferred to other places in the medium, okay, that is known as a wave. Some people call it event, some people call it disturbance, or disturbance is created at one point in a medium, and then what happens, that disturbance starts moving that point to other points of the medium. So when this disturbance starts moving from that point to other points in the medium, then we call it a wave. Okay, let me take a very easy and rough example right now. See, suppose there are 10 students who are standing here, okay, and I have given a piece of sweet to every one of the students, right? And they are holding the sweet in their hand, and I ask every boy to eat the sweet only when the boy next to you has ate it. Okay, for example, this is first boy, he will eat this sweet. Then the next boy, when he is seen, okay, he has eaten the sweet, now I will eat, now I will eat, now I will eat. So what happened? So this is an event which is created at this point. Now this is an event in which the person is eating the sweet, okay. Then this person who already has the sweet, now he will eat the sweet, now he will eat, now he will eat. So what will happen? This event has transferred from one boy to other boys, right? So the event which taken place here, and now that event has transferred, right? So this is one example of a wave. Now, what happens in physics? In physics, what happens in the wave? When we come to physics, wave is actually a disturbance created at one point which is traveling to other point, and what that disturbance is actually, number one, and why it is traveling from one point to another point. Okay, so there are two things which you need to understand. First of all, what is that disturbance? Disturbance is actually the energy given to the point, energy created or given at that point, right? Now that energy is transferred. Okay, now energy or momentum, both we can say. So in a way, the transfer of energy takes place, right? But the transfer of matter does not take place. That means in the previous example, the sweets were not being transferred. Okay, the event was being transferred. The event is occurring now in everywhere. Now that event is moving forward. Okay, so here, so what is a wave? First of all, it is an event, or you can call it disturbance, occurring at one point, also known as source point, and then traveling, and then it travels, okay, to other points. Is it clear? So event or disturbance occurring at one point and then traveling to other points. Now second point is here, energy and momentum, not or, energy and momentum are transferred, but there is no transfer of matter. There is no transfer of matter, right? This is. Now what happens? Let's understand with another example here. See, suppose I take a string here which is attached to this wall. right? Now this end of the string or the rope is fixed, and this is free end which I am holding right now through my hand. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lift this string up through this point and then snap it like this. Okay, so just have a look what's gonna happen here. Okay, so I'm gonna lift it up like this. Look here, like this I have lifted it up. Now can you see that when I try to lift this particular point, so what happened? The other points of the rope also got lifted up. Yes or no? The other points of the rope also got lifted up. Why they got lifted up? I was just moving the first point, but why the other points in the neighborhood also got up? Because they are attached to each other through elastic forces of attraction or the molecular force of attraction between them. Are you understanding? So because of this, the disturbance which I created for this particular point got transferred to other points also. That means these points also got up from their position. Right? Now when I'm going to snap it down, so what's going to happen? When I snap it down, you must have experienced this thing. A bump like this will be created. Okay? And then what happens? To our surprise, this bump is going to travel with certain speed v forward. Okay? So this is going to happen. So what we say, this is a wave which is moving forward. So this disturbance which was created at this point is now moving forward. That's why we will call it as a wave. I hope it is clear. Now, so energy was given to this point, but now that energy is being transferred to other points. Okay. Now let's understand what has actually happened here to the particle. Right. Now look here, students. You will ask me, sir, what is this shape? How is this shape occurring? Because I am just moving one particle like this. But why the rope is coming in this shape? Why the rope is taking this shape? Let's try to understand. See. What happened when I touched the first particle and tried to move it up? Other particles also got up to certain heights. Like here, if you see, this particle got up here, this particle got up here, this particle got up here. Can you see that? So they were risen to different heights. Now, what is happening? The information which I am giving to the first particle, that information or that energy is now being transferred. Okay. So what happens? It is transferred to this point, then this, then this. So what happens? This shape which you are seeing currently, which is traveling forward, is actually at particular instant, this instant, the position of the particles which are here. The particle which was here is now here. Can you see that? The particle which was here is now here. It is now here. It is now here. Can you see that? That means these particles are at different positions in the space. And we take a snapshot, we take a screenshot like this. So all the particles are at different heights and we take a screenshot. So this is the shape that we get. So that's why we call it is a wave or a wave pulse right now. Okay. Now this wave pulse is moving forward. Okay, fine. If this wave pulse is moving forward, first of all, why it is moving forward? Now we know the reason, due to the elastic properties of the rope particles. Okay, all the molecules of the rope, they are attracting each other through strong molecular forces, because of which the motion which was created here is now being transferred. Now what happens when it comes to a point? Now we will try to understand what is the motion of the particle when the wave is going to pass through it. Okay, now look here, see, suppose a wave was created here. Suppose this is the wave. Now pay attention. Now what happens? When this wave comes to this particle, this is the particle. Now let's move this wave a little ahead. So what will happen? Where is this particle now? Here. This particle has got up. Can you see that? Now let's move this wave a little more ahead. Now what is happening? Now where is this particle? Now this particle is here at the topmost point. Can you see? So when this wave is moved further ahead, so what's going to happen? Now this big particle is here and it is coming down. Okay, and when finally this wave has completely passed, so what happens? This particle is back to this position. So let me draw it here and tell you that means this is the wave which came to this particle, and when this wave completely passed through this particle, see, this wave arrived at this particle, and when this wave completely passed through this particle, so what happened? This particle raised up like this and came back to its mean position or equilibrium position. Do you understand this thing? So what is happening? This bump is coming here, and when this bump reaches this point rises according to the disturbance, according to the shape of the disturbance, or according to the disturbance. It rises up and comes down, and you will feel that this is the exact thing which I did with the first particle, right? This was the exact thing which I did with the first particle. What I did to the first particle? I just simply raised it up and brought it down and gave it a snap. Then what happened? This snap actually, when I was disturbing this particle, the disturbance was transferred to other particles also, and they are also bound to perform the same motion now, but at different times. That means the first particle is here like this. Now this motion has come down. Now like this. So this disturbance which is created, now it is moving. So this disturbance, when it is moving, is known as a wave. And what happens to the motion of the particle? Now every particle is going to perform the exact same motion as the first particle is performing. So if I lift the first particle and bring it down, the motion which this particle is performing, all the particles of the rope are bound to perform the same motion. Do you understand? And you must have seen this thing in the gymnasiums also, where they have this freestyle workouts in which they gave you two heavy ropes, and the people who are into bodybuilding and all. So what do they do? They hold these ropes and do like this. So what happens? They are creating constant pulses, constant waves. They are not giving this motion to the wave. They are not doing like this. What they are doing? They are simply raising the rope up and down. So they are giving this up and down motion to the first particle, but this same motion is being transferred to other particles, and when this motion is being transferred, it appears as a wave. Do you understand? Come on, tell me. Obviously, this is not a class, so you cannot tell me. It's a video. I have this habit of in the class now. Anyways, so let's come back to this thing. I hope it is pretty much clear what kind of a motion performed, okay, with this diagram. So one final conclusion that I want to give you is, when a wave is moving forward, then what happens? The energy is moving forward, the disturbance is moving forward, the event is moving forward, but what is not moving forward along with the wave is the particle through which that disturbance is traveling, right? That means the particle is displaced. Okay, sorry, the particle is moving, so it moves and comes back to its point. So when one pulse of a wave has passed, the net displacement of the particle is still zero. It has not suffered any net displacement. Are you understanding? So once this wave goes, it might be reflected and it will come back, or suppose all the energy is absorbed here, so it's not going to come back. So wave is going to come, boom, or it's going to come back, boom. Anyways, so we will see those things later. What happens when the wave comes back, how it is going to come back and all. Okay, so let's move ahead now. Now, one thing I wanted to share, students. Suppose shape of the wave is given. So just one more time I want to explain you what is the shape of the wave. Okay, you will say, sir, why the wave is looking like this? Okay, why? See, what is the shape of the wave? Shape of the wave is actually, see, when the disturbance is being transferred, okay, when the disturbance is being transferred, all the particles are not rising together and coming back. First particle rises, then there is some time lag, another particle, then after some time another, then after some time another. So what happens? While the first particle is here, the fifth particle is about to rise. Okay, when the first particle comes back, it might be possible fifth particle is now at the maximum height. Do you understand? So if you take a snap of it or screenshot of it, so what you will observe? You will observe that at particular moment, all the particles are at different heights, and some are going up and some are coming down. Okay, sorry. Some are going down and some are going up. You understand? So this is the scenario. So that is the shape of the wave. Cool? Okay, so let's move ahead now. Next thing is, let's come to type of waves. Okay, type of waves. I've given you too much information about waves right now, but let's understand the type also. So type number one is transverse wave. Transverse Second type is known as longitudinal wave. Longitudinal wave. Okay, so it is longitudinal wave. Now, what is a transverse wave? What is a longitudinal wave? All these things we discuss now. So, here, listen. In a transverse wave, the wave motion is in the forward direction. Suppose then the disturbance or the motion of the particle is perpendicular to the wave motion. Example here, look. Suppose the wave is moving here. This is the direction of the wave, or I shall write it wave motion. And this is what? This is the direction of the particle motion. Okay, this is how the particle, or this is how the disturbance is moving. Okay, particle motion. Right, it's motion, I know that. So this is particle motion. So what is this? This is 90 degrees. That means when the particles are oscillating or moving in a direction perpendicular to the direction of wave motion, such a wave is known as transverse wave, right? Now, give me an example quickly. You will say, sir, just now you told us there was a wave on a string. Obviously, where were the particles oscillating? The particles are moving in the vertical direction, and where the hell was wave going? The wave was going in the forward direction. So what was the angle between them? This is how the particles were moving, right? This is how the wave was propagating, right? So what is the angle? 90 degrees, right? Okay, anyways. So that was a transverse wave. Now tell me any other example. So what is the first example? You will say, sir, the example is very simple. A wave on a string, right? Another example. Wave which is created on the surface of water, where you observe these ripples. Have you seen it? Whenever you throw a stone on the surface of water, what happens? And then ripples are created in all the directions. See what is going to happen. What is happening here? Suppose this is the top surface of water. This is the surface of water. Now you throw a stone. So what will happen? Stone will come, and then it will press this surface down. First, it will press it a little bit down, and then what will happen? It will pass or penetrate this surface and go down. Do you understand? It will go down. Now what happens to this surface? When this surface comes down, the surface which is attached to it through molecular forces of attraction, now it will also rise a little bit like this. Do you understand? Now when the stone is gone down, now what will happen? This will come back. Now what has happened? This surface is oscillated like this. So what happens? Now this oscillation has been transferred to the molecules which are in the neighborhood. So what is going to happen? So this is how the waves are coming. These are ripples going forward. Now do you understand? So that is why here also, where is the water particle, water molecule moving? It's moving in the upward direction, vertically up and down. And where is the wave going? Radially outwards. Okay, so there also. So we will say waves on the surface of the liquid. This is another example of the transverse wave. Now let's come to the longitudinal wave. Here things are little interesting. How they are interesting? Let's understand. See, in a longitudinal wave, the particle is also oscillating or moving in the direction of the wave motion. Now look here. Suppose this is the direction of the wave. So I will say this is wave motion. And what is happening to the particle motion? Through the particle motion, the particle is going to perform like this. Look here. Like this. In the same direction. Okay. So that means the angle between the wave motion and the particle motion is either 0 degrees or 180 degrees. Okay. So they are in the line. So this is particle motion. I hope you understood this point. Now what is the example? The best example of this. Come on, tell me. It's a sound wave. Here. See, whenever we are speaking, how do we speak? We first create a disturbance through muscles in our vocal cords. Now these vocal cords oscillate. So what happens? The air molecules which are near those vocal cords, they feel that, they carry that disturbance. Okay. So they get that disturbance. Now what happens? Those molecules, when they vibrate, so what is happening? The sound, the disturbance is coming forward. Now suppose I'm speaking here, so what will happen? I just push the molecules which are here. So what's going to happen? That disturbance is now going to move forward. Okay, so what is happening? When the particles are coming closer, there are regions of compression. When they are moving, there's some rarefaction created. These are regions of rarefaction. So compression, compression, rarefaction. So this is how this is the kind of motion. And the particles are coming back. It's not like that the particles are permanently gone. No. Like this. This also comes back. This also comes back. Like this. What is happening? The disturbance is moving forward. And when this disturbance comes to our ear, then it also vibrates the eardrum. Then some electrical impulses are created which are perceived by some parts of the brain as a sensation of sound. Right? Done. Where do you find it? So number one, sound waves. Okay. Now where? Sound wave in which medium? Which medium? So you say sound wave in gases, liquids and solids also. Sound waves travel in every medium. Okay, sound waves travel in liquid also. Sound wave travel inside a solid also. Okay, right? Now, another example. Another example, can you tell me? No, this is done. We are done with this. Okay. Now, let's come to another type of a classification of wave, which is a mechanical wave and a non-mechanical wave. Let's see. Because many of you must be thinking, sir, you have discussed many waves right now, but you have missed light wave. So under which category that will come? Okay, so let me discuss. So this is our mechanical wave. और दूसरी कैटेगरी क्या हो जाएगी भाई? Non-mechanical wave. Okay, the second category will be non-mechanical wave. Now, what is the meaning of this mechanical and non-mechanical wave now? See, mechanical wave is a wave which requires a medium to move ahead. For example, sound wave, waves on a string. All these waves are what? They require medium. You cannot speak anything in a vacuum, because for hearing of a producing sound wave, you must need air molecules in between or some sort of a medium in between, because you're gonna push the first particle here and it is gonna push the other particles, right? So that push or disturbance is gonna transfer. But if there is nothing in between your mouth and my ear, I'm not gonna hear a damn thing, right? So suppose we are trapped inside a vacuum and somehow we are still living and you're trying to speak a lot, but I will not hear you. And that's the truth. Even if you come close to my ear and you shout as much as you can, you try to scream, I will not hear anything, any damn thing. So those waves which require medium to travel, okay, those waves are known as mechanical waves. Example, again I will take wave on a string, wave on a string. Okay, then sound wave, water, so waves on the surface of water, waves inside water. Okay, now under this category there is only one wave, which is, for so long you have been waiting for this, it is light wave. Okay, now what is a light wave? Light wave actually does not require any medium to travel. Now you will say, sir, how? So how means, see, from the sun the light is coming, that is the ultimate source of energy and light for all of us, we know that. Now the light is coming from sun. Can you tell me there is any medium between sun and earth? No, there is no medium. But still the light is traveling and coming to us, right? Still it's coming to us, right? So that means the light doesn't need any medium to travel. So why? So how it is being transferred? Because wave is a disturbance created at one point and that disturbance has to be transferred through the elastic properties of the medium. That's what we learned in the beginning. But here actually there is no requirement of any elastic property, because light wave is actually the purest form of the energy itself, and that energy is itself propagating. Okay, that you will understand later on when you study 12th standard electromagnetic waves. There will electromagnetic waves and electromagnetic induction. When you read these chapters now, then you will get a pretty good idea how the light wave is sustaining itself and moving forward. Okay, now let's see what is the structure of the light wave, first of all. Okay, now this is what, this is what, this is the x-axis, this is what, this is the y-axis, this is the z-axis. Now in light wave, actually there are electric field and there's electric field and magnetic field oscillating perpendicular to each other, oscillating in two perpendicular planes. Now let's have a look here, let's look at it. This is the electric field which is moving forward like this. Can you see that? This is the oscillation of the electric field. That means the value of the electric field is itself changing, the energy is itself changing. Okay, and what about the magnetic field? This is the magnetic field which is oscillating in the xz plane, and together where these waves are going along the z-axis. Can you see that? So electric field is oscillating in the yz plane, magnetic field is oscillating in the xz plane, and this energy oscillation is itself propagating along the z-axis. This is we call a light wave. Now, can anybody tell me what is a light wave if we want to classify it from transverse or longitudinal? In this category, if I want to classify it, so under which category it will come? Longitudinal wave or transverse wave? Obviously, transverse wave. Why transverse? Because the propagation of the disturbance is perpendicular to the propagation of the wave. So wave is going forward and the disturbance is happening in the vertical direction, right? So this is light wave is a non-mechanical wave and also it is a transverse wave. Okay, more details on light waves will be done in other chapters. Okay, so let's leave it here and say goodbye to light waves right now. Now, you will ask, sir, why we are not dealing with light waves right now? See, in wave what happens? All the waves have some sort of have a similar or almost same mathematical description. So if you are able to describe any one wave properly mathematically, you can describe every other wave also. Okay, so in this chapter right now we are focusing more on waves on a string. So we will be focusing more on waves on a string. Then we will be covering sound waves, and then when I start the series for 12 standard classes, then I'll start with light waves also somehow. Okay, so let's move ahead. So I'm gonna wrap this now. Now, the best part and the trickiest part, the wave, mathematical description of the wave. That means now we are going to understand what is the wave equation. Okay, so the heading is wave equation. Now, this is something very important. See, students, I'll write something like this. Suppose if I write y as a function of t at x is equals to 0. What does it mean? Can you think of it? Just pause the video and think of it. What is this actually? This is some sort of a mathematical relationship between the vertical displacement with time. This function can be anything. It can be sine omega t. Like I can write anything. Huh? Like y can be sine at. Okay. Y can be cos bt. Okay. Y can be 1 by 1 plus t square. Like this, function can be anything, but that means y is depending upon time. Okay, what is y? Y is the vertical displacement of the particle when the wave is moving. Okay, or the displacement of the particle from its mean position. This is y, right? It depends upon time. But what I have fixed here, I have fixed the position x is equal to 0. That means I am just talking about one particle, its vertical displacement from mean position with time t. That means when I write this, I am only talking about the very first particle at x is equal to 0. Okay? But you tell me, if I want to describe a wave mathematically, what I need? In a wave, there is no one, there is not a single particle oscillating, right? All the particles are oscillating. So if I want to understand the wave completely mathematically, I need to just not know the displacement of the particle at x is equals to 0, I need to know the displacement of the particle at any position x with any time t, right? So when I can get an equation like this, when I can get an equation like y being a function of x and t, that means at any position x at any time t, I can get the displacement of that particle from its mean position. Are you understanding? Suppose, let me tell you, like suppose a wave is created here and this wave is moving here, okay, or Suppose, let me take a better example. Suppose continuous waves are created, okay? Suppose continuous waves are created, and this is the source, x is equal to 0. Now I just want to know at this position here. Suppose this position is x is equals to, let's say it is 10 centimeter. Just an example I am taking, so just an example, okay? What is the height of this? Because right now this particle is where here. According to the wave shape of the wave, we can say that right now where is that particle? You will say, sir, right now this particle is actually here. So what is this height? Y. So at any time t, suppose I want to know what is this y for this particular x. Do you understand? So I don't want to know the displacement of only first particle. I want to know displacement of every particle. It is a wave equation, right? So wave equation is not just y being a function of t with a constant x. Wave equation is actually y being a function of x and t, so that we can know the displacement from mean position of any particle at any position x at any time t. I hope I have made myself clear. Right? Now we will try to derive the wave equation. Like this, not derive actually. Let's get a close approximation. Okay, so now wave equation. See, now it's very tricky to derive it. Okay, now look here. Suppose this is the first particle, and like this, the wave is created here. Initially, where is this particle here, right? So if I write y, sorry, I need to write it somewhere else. Suppose I write y as a function of x is equal to 0 comma t, or just I can say y as a function of t. That means I am talking only about this particle. Okay. Now this wave pulse is created here, and this wave pulse move forward. Okay. Suppose after some time, or I am observing this particle, which is at what distance? At a distance x from here. Suppose I am observing this particle. Now this wave is moving with a constant speed v. Okay. So this wave will reach this place or this point. Okay. So this particle will go up like this. Now suppose at any time t, when this wave has reached here, okay, I want to know what is the displacement of this particle. But the problem is I have the mathematical equation for this only. I don't have a mathematical equation for this particle. I just have a mathematical equation for this particle. This particle, I know this thing. For this particle, I have a mathematical equation, right? But I don't know anything about this thing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a little logic. See, whatever disturbance is appearing here, the same disturbance is going to appear here at some point of time, right? Right? Let me tell you. See, if it is moving with a velocity v, so suppose I am observing this right now at t. Right now I am observing this particle at time t at a position x. Okay, at a position x. Now you tell me, if this disturbance is here at time t, then how much time before this disturbance was here? Just tell me. You will say, sir, actually x can be written as vt, right? X can be written as vt. Okay, that means t equals to x by v time before this disturbance. Let's say this is point B, this is A. This disturbance at point B was actually at point A. Now again, I need to tell you one thing. I told you that I know the mathematical equation for the displacement of only this particle. I don't have anything about this particle. I don't have any clue. So what I did, I just said this particle is also oscillating like B is also oscillating like A. Just the difference is it is oscillating like A at different time. Okay. So what I'm saying, if it is displaced right now, suppose this is the displacement of this particle B right now, the same displacement would have been happened here at A at a time t minus x by v before. That means same disturbance. So I will say, so at t equals to x by v time before this disturbance at B was actually at point A. So I will say, if I want to write the displacement equation for particle B, I will write y as a function of, not t, y as a function of t is for this, but for this I will say t minus x by v. So instead of t, I will write t minus x by v. So when I write t minus x by v, that means I will say same distance, the disturbance which is here at any time will travel here. So I can see the disturbance which is right now at B must have been at A. Must have been at A. How much time before? X minus x by v time before. So I will say instead of t here, I will replace it with t minus x by v, so that I can get the displacement of B. Right? And what we have got, can you see that? We have got a wave equation. Yes or no? What we wanted in the very beginning. F as a function of x and t. So this is a general wave equation, right? And suppose this wave must have been moving backward somewhere, so we would have written t plus x by v. Okay, that's it, nothing else. So if you do it minus, that means it is moving in the forward direction, positive x-axis. If you do it plus, it is moving in the backward direction. Okay. Now let's come to a different form of this equation. We can write it like this also: f into vt minus x by v, or we can say it is f of x minus vt by minus v. Can I write it like this? There is no issue. Okay. Now, since minus v is a constant, the only variables inside this function is x and t. So minus v is a constant, I can take it out, is no problem, and I can simply say that y is a function of x minus vt. Right? So now I have got two forms, okay, of wave equation. What are those two forms? You will say, sir, y as a function of t minus x by v, okay, this, or you can also say, I can say minus plus, or x plus minus vt, like this, right? So whenever you see these equations in this format, you can say it's a wave equation, but just one thing you need to take care of. You have to just check that y is valid for all the values of t and x. Okay, for all the values of x and t, is y coming out to be some value or not? Okay, that point is again a little debatable, because some people say that no matter what happens, if suppose t and x, somehow the y is coming infinity, it's okay, the particle is going to infinity, that's all. So there is a little debate here. So we can say, okay, suppose we are talking about a wave on a string only. Suppose we are talking about this particular wave, then we know that the particle is not going to go to infinity. Okay. So if at some point value of t and x we put and y is infinity, that means this equation is at least not valid for a wave on a string, right? So we will say that, okay, generally we will say that we have to see that y is defined for all values of x and t. It's not getting infinity or minus or infinity. Okay. So this is the general equation. Now. If you see the equation in this kind of a format, you can pretty much be assured that yes, it's a wave equation. Right. Okay. Now let's do some questions. Or not questions, I'll just take some examples now. Explain you a little bit more about these equations. Now one thing I want to say here is that before doing the question, suppose y is a function of x and t given, okay? If in this equation, okay, we say that t is some constant, okay, that means we are fixing time. That means we are trying to observe all the particles at a moment, at an instant. So what happens if you fix the time? That means I want to know the displacement of all the particles at t equals to 1 second. So obviously all the particles will be at different heights. So if you look here, so what happens if we fix t, then the wave will somewhat look like this. It might look like this. That means this is y as a function of x, okay, where t is constant. So t is constant. So when you put t is constant, you can say simply y as a function of x, and t is a constant. T is constant. That means you're observing this wave at a particular instant. So this gives you actually the shape of the wave. The shape of the wave. I hope you understood. See, when you fix the time, students, it's important to understand. When you fix the time, so what is happening? You are observing. Suppose t equals to 5 seconds. Now wave is propagating here. Okay, all the particles are oscillating. All the particles are oscillating. The disturbance is moving forward. I just got at 5th second stop. 5th second take a photo. Take a photograph. Then what will happen? You will take a photograph. At 5th second, all the particles will be at some other positions. Okay. So if you just connect them, what are you going to see? The shape of the wave at that particular moment. The shape of the wave is constantly changing, right? Because the positions of the particle are constantly changing. Okay. So that is why at a particular instant, if you take a photograph or a screenshot, what are you going to get? The shape of the wave. So mathematically, how I'm going to define? I'm just going to put in this equation t as a constant. So y as a remaining function of x will give me the shape of the wave. I hope it's clear. Now, other way around. If in y as a function of x comma t, I fix the value of x. That means I want to observe a particular point. Okay, say example x is constant. That means now what is this? What is the meaning of x as a constant? That means I am fixing one position. Okay, then y becomes function of t, which just gives us the equation of motion of a single particle at that value of x, right? So when you fix x, you just get to observe what is the motion of the particle. If you fix time, you get to know the shape of the wave. This thing should be clear. So y as a function of x and t is a wave equation. In this equation, if you fix time, you get the shape of the wave at that particular time. In this wave, if you fix x, that means position, that means you're observing a one single particular particle, then what's going to happen? Then you're going to have y as a function of t, that means you're going to simply observe the motion of that particle. That's it. Clear? Okay. Now, one doubt students generally have, sir, how do we identify that, sir? That is a wave equation. Simple. Just keep few little things in your mind. That if pi is something like this, x square minus b square t square, this is not a wave equation. The equation must be in this format only. Right? Even if it's like this, suppose y is equals to a sine t minus x by v whole square. Okay, there's no problem. Whole square can come, but you cannot say x square, v square, t square. Clear? This can come, there's no problem. This can come, there's no problem. Okay. X minus vt whole square, x minus vt whole cube, t minus x by v square, t minus x by v whole cube. This can come, there's no issue. But this thing should not come. Okay? Now let's take one pretty good example. Now they have simply asked y is given as 2 upon 1 plus t square. Okay? Y is given what? 2 upon 1 plus t square. Now they are saying find the equation of the wave if wave speed is v equals to 2 meter per second. Okay, point number 1. Find number 2. Find the shape of the wave. Find the shape of the wave at t equals to 0 seconds and t equals to 1 second. Okay, now this is given. So you must ask yourself first of all, see, whenever you see a question in physics, the very first thing that you need to do is read the question carefully. Okay, now write down what is actually given in the question, what parameters are given, and then try to relate it with the theory or the knowledge of that particular topic which you have in your mind or which you have studied or known so far. Right, about wave equation, you know very well that when wave is a function of x and t, if the wave is only a function of t, then it means that it is only the equation of the displacement of a particle, single particle. Okay. Now, if you want to convert it into a wave equation, I told you, you need to replace t with t minus x by v or t plus x by v. Right now, they have not mentioned where the wave is going. So let's say the wave is going forward, and we will say this is nothing but y as a function of time. If I want to convert it into wave equation, what I have to do? I have to replace t with t minus x by v, right? I have to do this now. Yes. So in this context, what I'm going to do is y will be 2 by 1 plus t minus x by v is how much? 2 whole square. So what y is going to become? 2 upon 1 plus, or let it be like this only. So this is our wave equation, right? So first part is solved. First part of the question is solved. Find the equation of the wave if the wave speed is this. It is solved. Suppose they have deliberately given you that the wave is moving in the backward direction or in the negative x-axis. Then what you are going to do? Then what would you have done? Then you would have simply written t plus x by v. Right? Done. Understood? Now let's move ahead. The second thing is a little tricky to answer. What they are asking is find the shape of the wave. Now how do you get the shape of the wave? First you need to know the wave equation, right? Once you know the wave equation, in that wave equation you put t as a constant. Put t as constant and y as a function of x that will remain, will give you the shape of the wave, right? Now we are going to derive the shape of the wave here, okay? So since I need some space now, so I'll rub this thing. I hope you have understood. You can otherwise rewind the video and check. Okay, now let's try to find out the shape of the wave at 1 second and 0 seconds and 1 second. Okay, now this was the equation. Y is equals to 2 by 1 plus t square. If you want to convert it into wave equation, you will say 2 upon 1 plus t minus x by v whole square. Now they want us to fix the time. Fix the time means t equals to 0. So what is y? 2 upon 1 plus, okay, minus x by 2 whole square, which will be 2 by 1 plus x square by 4, which will ultimately become 8 upon 4 plus x square. Right? Now what is this? This is y as a function of x, right? This is y as a function of x, which means this is the shape of the wave right now. This is the shape of the wave. But how you are going to draw it now? How you are going to draw it? In 11th standard right now, I don't know whether you have studied functions or not till now. But so what we will do, we will try to just randomly check for some values of x what is y, and then try to make a shape. Then try to make a shape based on our knowledge of calculus. Okay? Now it's very easy. See. Right now, let's put the value here. X is equals to 0. When you put x is equals to 0, what is y? Y equals to 2. Right? Now, let's put x is equals to 2 here. Let's put x is equals to 2 here. 2 2 is 4. Y is what? 1. Okay, let's check x is equals to minus 2 because this is x square, so we can check for the same negative value as well. So again the y is going to be 1. Oh, very good. Now let's check. For x is equals to 4. What is the answer? 4 4 is 16 plus 4 20. 8 by 20. What is this? 0.4. Again x for minus 4. Y will be 0.4 only. So somewhat like this. And when you put x to a very large infinite value, x tending to infinity, what is y gonna be? Y is gonna tend to 0, right? For both the sides, whether x tends to positive infinity or whether x tends to negative infinity, because it's square here, so no problem, right? Okay. Let's try to draw the shape. Right? This. Achha, one more thing. Can you see that? This is the maximum value of y when x is minimum. When you put x minimum, so you can get y as maximum. So this is also the maximum displacement of the particle from its position. Suppose. Now here. Now the positions of the particles on the right side of x-axis and on the left side of the x-axis are identical at the same moment. So the shape of the wave will be somewhat like this. Can you see? So I can clearly say that at x is equals to 0, the position is this. At x is equals to 2, the position is this. At x is equals to minus 4, and this is x is equals to minus 2. This is x is equals to minus 4, 2, and this is x is equals to 4, right? This is the shape of the wave, and this is what? This is y equals to 2. This is what? Y equals to 1, and this is what? Y equals to 0.8, right? Sorry, 0.4. Okay, brilliant. So this is the shape of the wave. That means all the particles are like this. Some particles are here, some particle is here, one particle is here, some are here, like this. All the particles are at their positions. Now this particular pulse or this particular shape is now moving forward with what speed? 2 meters per second. Now the next part of the question can be very easily answered, students. How we can answer that part? See, they have asked us at t equals to 0, you have to find the shape of the wave, right? And at t equals to 1 second, again you have to find the shape of the wave. Now see, this is the pulse. This pulse is as it is moving forward. So it is not going to change. Just we will shift this pulse forward because this wave is created. Now this wave is moving forward now. So this is how much? 2 meters per second. At what time we want to observe? 1 second. So what is the displacement of this wave? You will say v into t. What is v? 2 into 1. So what is the displacement? 2 meters. That means this wave has just moved 2 meters in 1 second. Okay. So what is the next shape at 1 second? So the peak of the wave is down here. So wave is somewhat like this. Can you see that? So this is at y as a function of x when t is 1 second. This is, with blue marker I will show you. This is y as a function of x when time is 0 seconds. Do you understand now? So this is how the wave is moving forward. Okay. Now you can just rewind and understand this concept again. This is, I know the first time it might be little tricky to understand, but if you understand this stuff now, students, I bet you have understood the actual concept of the wave which is happening here. Okay, so don't worry, just rewind it once or twice. You can just replay it and understand, no problem. Okay, now let's do one more question and then I'll wind up this video. Okay. Now this question is really easy, and this has been asked in JEE 1990. I know most of you were not even born at that time. Even I was also not born at that time. So 1998 came. So the question is very simple. Y is 1 upon 1 plus x square at t equals to 0 seconds. Now what they have done, now they are giving y as a function of x and fixing the time. That means this is the shape of the wave at t equals to 0, right? Now they are saying that y is 1 upon 1 plus x minus 1, x minus 1 whole square at t equals to what? 2 seconds, right? That means at 2 seconds, this is the shape of the wave, right? Now, we need to find the velocity of the wave. So, question is, find the velocity or speed of the wave, right? How to do it? We all know that if y is given as a function of x and we want to convert it into a wave equation, what is the method? Replace x with x minus vt, right? Replace x with x minus vt. Cool, we can do this, no problem. Now this is the wave, this is the shape of the wave. So what should be the equation? If you look here, what should be the equation? You'll just have to replace x with x minus vt. So y is equals to 1 upon 1 plus x minus vt whole square. This is the general wave equation for this. Sorry, this is the wave equation. This is the wave equation for this particular wave. This is the wave equation for this particular wave, right? Now we just need to compare and get the answer. That's all. That's all. Our job is done here. Now, if I want to compare at t equals to 0, then there's a lot of problem. Why? Because we cannot know the value of v when we put t as 0 here. Okay. So when we take the first case, we are not going to get the right answer. But when we compare it with the second case, students, second case, okay, at t equals to 2 seconds, when we put this value, what is y? Y is 1 upon 1 plus x minus v into 2 whole square. Okay. Now, this they have already given, this is the shape at t equals to 2 seconds, and according to the equation, this is the shape at t equals to 2 seconds which we are getting. Okay, so we can compare these two equations and can say that 2v is actually equal to 1. 2v, this thing, is actually equal to 1. So what is v? V is 1 by 2, which is how much? 0.5 meter per second. क्या कहते हो इस बारे में? Do you understand? This is how we get the velocity. Okay. So when y is given as a function of x, t is constant. Replace x with x minus vt and get the wave equation. When y is given as a function of t, time, and x is constant, you want to get the wave equation. Replace t with t minus x by v and get the wave equation. Okay. So this is something which I have explained today. Anyways. So the next topic of the the topic of the next video will be sinusoidal wave. Okay. Now we are going to understand the wave in little more detail. Okay. It will be better if you revise your SHM first. Okay. Because in the next lecture or in the next video, a lot of concepts of the SHM are going to come. So at least come prepared with the small concepts of initial basic concepts of simple harmonic motion and equation. Right. So that's all from my side. All the best, students. All the best. Okay. Prepare hard. Okay. Give all your hard work for your examination. Okay. So thank you. Tada. Thanks for listening. Okay. Bye bye.